Did you ever get to interview or get in contact with Trevon Lane?
Yeah, there's been some contact in recent months, not by me directly, but by a very close associate of mine who's having dialogue. And, Trevon Lane doesn't want any drama in his life, and he certainly doesn't want to at this point. Of course, I interviewed him back during the investigative period, you know that from my book. But right now, he's maintaining that code that he's lived by his whole life, and that's that you keep your secrets close and between you and your inner circle, and it doesn't benefit you to go outside of that according to the rules he lives by.
I heard Trevon wanted to come out because he's kind of looked as the folk guy, and this was right around the time when your documentary came out. He was gonna address it.
Yeah, and I think that again, this goes to the public's not taking the time to understand the nuances of what went down and truly being objective about it. And DJ Quick kind of throwing Trevon under the bus. I think it was DJ Quick.
Out somebody, it's this nigga. Hey, it wasn't Suge that brought down Death Row either. It was Trevon Lane, bitch ass, scary ass nigga, got that chain took and then got Tupac in that fight. And then that's how Tupac got shot, because Trevon Lane, he was like the little bully, he was like a instigator. It's always the one that don't mean nothing that bring the whole house of cards down. Trevon Lane, you ought to be real proud of yourself. You was a bitch ass nigga. You fucked it up for everybody. Be proud, nigga. You need an award for hoe. I ain't scared of none of you motherfuckers, and you know it.
Throwing Trevon under the bus and that kind of thing. Listen, it wasn't like that at all. There was nothing wrong with Trevon whispering to Pac and saying, hey, keep an eye out. There's that fool that, there's that guy that jumped me for my necklace 3 months ago. Hey, there's guys here that we don't get along with. Watch your back. I'm absolutely positive that he didn't say, hey, Tupac, go handle my business for me. Tupac took that upon himself because he was trying to show loyalty to these individuals who have showed loyalty to him. He got himself, ingratiated with the wrong people and took off on his own. That was Pac's fault. He made that decision to go over there and sucker punch Orlando. Truth be told, Orlando was probably going to get stomped down by everybody anyways, because as soon as the rest of the entourage would have seen Orlando, it was on. But Frank Alexander or any other of the security should have had Pac by the arms and keeping him from getting involved. That's what you do when you have a celebrity client. You don't let them get themselves involved in something that has these type of consequences. So I think Trevon Lane needs to be exonerated from that responsibility. He did what any of us would have done and said, hey, I don't get along with these dudes over here. Just kind of watch your back.
Security went up more. We kept security with us daily. But when those things went on, it was, we had to wear bulletproof vests. We had to, we were getting threats. And, it was said that Puffy had a $75,000 award out for anybody that could bring them a real death row medallion. So it was a lot of shit going on. So you imagine you got young guys going around. It was all kinds of guys that was just at us daily, just to win that kind of ticket.
I spoke to Danny Boy. Those who don't know, he was an artist on death row, and he says the same thing. Where at that time they were on point because people were trying to get at him. How there was a bounty on death row chains, and they had to look out.
That's right. And that's another area where we had to kind of thank Reggie Wright Jr. He was one of the first people to tell law enforcement that there was a bounty on death row chains. And, so we knew that early on. And, of course, we know what happened at the Lakewood Mall with Trevon and Orlando. It would have been naturally for him to tell Tupac, man, these are the guys that are out to snatch our chains. Keep an eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
And, Danny Boy, obviously coming from death row, should have been aware of that.
Don't give a fuck what you niggas like. Y'all on the wave I created. Always had dreams of a bigger life. Y'all just didn't think I would make it. I go again till I get it right. I thank the Lord for my patience. Hated on me till I did it right. a fuck what you doing, just to clear up the confusion.